Welcome to the Papa Rockstars podcast with Anya Bohm, where we talk about all things paparazzi, team training, suggestions, interviews with elite leaders, and more, all to help you grow and explode your Paparazzi Accessories business to rock star success.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the podcast. My name is Anya Bohm, and I'm your show host. Today, I'm excited to welcome Krystal Glenn on the call. Before we jump into her interview, though, don't forget to head on over to paparockstars.com/KrystalG, and there you can find today's show. You can share it with your friends and with your team members, listen again, and grab the exclusive call images for today's interview. Now, again, that website is paparockstars.com/KrystalG. Now, let me tell you a little bit about Krystal. Krystal is a mom to two kids, ages 3 and 7, and they are adorable. Watch out, heartbreakers. She loves the positivity that paparazzi has brought into her life because she feels like she's creating a life she didn't have growing up for her kids, and she loves that. She's been with paparazzi for 2.5 years and lives in St. Charles, Missouri. She says she's just a regular person, a fiance, and a mom. Now, 10 months after joining paparazzi, Krystal was able to retire from her jobs, and just 2 weeks ago, she was able to retire her fiance, Ash, as well. So exciting. Krystal is A-lister with paparazzi, and they're on track to hit Maiden A-lister this month. She is Life of the Party Silver, but hitting gold here in the next couple of days, and she's reached Crown Club 10. Krystal, did I leave anything out?
I don't think so. You're good.
Awesome. Well, let's jump into the questions. How did you get started with paparazzi?
Long story short, I was a single mom working 4 jobs, living in my mom's basement after my husband and I separated. Yeah, the 4 jobs just weren't cutting it. I hardly got to see my kids. And a friend from high school had joined paparazzi, and she invited me to a party. And I'm like, oh, okay, jewelry at $5. I thought it was kind of be crap. You know, it's $5, you know. But to support her, I always try to support the people that invite me to their parties and stuff. So I bought a couple pieces, and my mom bought something. I got them, and I was kind of, like, blown away by it. And she kept telling me, she's like, you've got the personality to do this. You need to do it. You need to do it. I want you on my team. What do I have to do to get you on my team? And, like, hounded me. And this was in October that she just kept asking. I'm like, no, I'm working 4 jobs now. I can barely make ends meet, barely pay my phone bill. Like, I can't spend $99 on a kit. I just can't do it. So she talked me into doing a kit earning party. This was December. It was 2 weeks before Christmas. I just prayed about it, and, you know, the Holy Spirit came and said, you know, I got you. This is where you need to go. And so I kind of just took a leap of faith, and I'm like, you know what, forget the party. I'm just going to go ahead and get the $99 kit. That's all I can afford right now. You know, I'll just do it. I was not done Christmas shopping for my kids. My cell phone bill was late, but something, you know, just do it. So, you know, we all get those pictures of the jewelry that's coming in our kits, and I posted them on Facebook, like, oh, I'm getting ready to start this. I'm really excited about it. I sold the majority of my kit before my kit even arrived to my house. Like, I did a pre-order, I guess, on it, and those last 2 weeks of December, I sold over $700 worth of jewelry. So even then, I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, all right, this is a cool little side hustle. You know, I'm still working my other jobs and everything, and it took Miss Marilyn, we all know her. It took her telling me that, you know, I'm skipping over a whole lot of parts, but otherwise we'll be on here for a while. But her telling me, you know, you need to come to convention. And I'm like, lady, you are crazy. I don't have a car right now. Single mom in my mom's basement. Like, no, I can't do that. And again, you know, I got the feeling you need to do this. So I was blessed with a couple events that kind of just fell in my lap. And I did those and made enough money to go to convention. That first year when I met the amazing Anya. And I had to bring he was a little over a year, my little honey nugget with me. And I baby wore the whole time. And I just thought Anya was the coolest thing. Because one, she's just very, what's the word that I'm looking for? I don't know. Like, y'all know her. Like, she's cool. She looks cool. She's like, here's the beautiful baby. And her husband's there. And I'm like, if she can do this with her kid, I can. You know, I felt awful that I had to bring my kid, and I thought people were going to look at me funny. And no, here she is. Our kids played, and that's kind of how I met Anya and everything. And I'm like, okay. So I did that, and I just got completely fired up. We came back from convention. I double ranked. And then you need to quit your job. That's what I was being told. And again, how am I supposed to quit my job? I had a van that was falling apart at that point. And again, the Holy Spirit's very funny in the way that I just kept getting little signs. So I did. I put in my 2 weeks, and my boss told me, I know that paparazzi has become your passion. You're fine. You can go ahead and go. And I'm like, what? I don't have to wait my 2 weeks or anything? And, so I quit, and it just only went up from there. I mean, within 2 months of quitting my job, we had hit producer, and it's skyrocketed. I'm the person that never wanted a team. I just wanted it for the discount and be able to help my friend. And people just came out of the woodworks. We want a little bit of what you have. And it's just kind of how it went. I went from having a broke-down van to we just bought 2 brand-new 2018 cars last week. It's insane. The opportunity that is laid here on a silver platter for everybody. But I guess that's how I started. I guess I probably told way more than I needed to.
No, I think that's perfect. It helps us get a feel for who you are and get to know you a little better. So that's perfect. Now, what is your why? Why do you do paparazzi?
I didn't come from money. My parents, growing up and having the electric turned off or, having to take cold showers because the hot water was turned off, that was something normal for us. There was always food on the table and stuff like that, but utilities and cars being repoed and stuff, that was just something that was normal for me. And after I was a stay-at-home mom and my husband decided he didn't want a family anymore, so I was homeless with my oldest for a little bit. Luckily, he was little enough to not remember any of that. But living in a hotel is definitely not a fun thing with a kid. So I always told myself I am never going to have to live paycheck to paycheck. I will do whatever I have to do to make sure I don't have to be getting payday loans and my cars aren't going to be repoed and my home's getting taken away from me. I didn't want to be in that spot, and it's crazy how fast paparazzi has made that possible. Everybody says, live your dream life, and you think that's so cliche and ridiculous, but it's so true. Going an hour away to the lake was a huge vacation for us growing up, and it's like we decided to take the kids to Disney for Christmas. We're going to Orange Beach next weekend. It's just, and I don't say that to be braggadocious or, oh, look at me, because that is far from the way I am. But it's nice to be able, because of this silly box, this $5 jewelry, it can really give you these opportunities to be able to do whatever you want, to be able to bless other people, and it's amazing. I could go off on a tangent for that, but I won't.
So I like how you said in the beginning it was just a way to not live paycheck to paycheck. But what has that changed into now that you're almost a Maven A-lister and that you have this huge team? What has that kind of your why morphed into?
I guess in the back of my head is still I want my kids to have the best life. I want them to have whatever they need, and not to spoil them to the fact where they're like a spoiled brat, but just to allow them to, grow. And if you want to play soccer, okay, well, that doesn't work out. You don't like it, okay, we'll try something different. But more now, I enjoy the fact that I can bless other people and not have to worry about, if I pay for this person's dinner, am I going to be able to put gas in my car kind of deal. My fiance and I are a big believer in sharing our wealth with others and being able to bless other people, because I feel like we live in such a negative world right now, and there's so much negativity surrounding you that even if it's just the person in the Starbucks line behind us, hey, I'm going to get the next 2 cars, just to be able to put a little bit of happy in somebody's life, no matter if it be big or small. I love the fact that we're able to do that now.
I love that phrase, put happy in someone else's life.
There's so much ugly in the world, like be the smiling face that you haven't seen all day long, or, give you a compliment when you've been talked down to all day long at your job or something,
And just those little things make a huge difference to people, and sometimes you don't even know the extent of that, but I love that you're spreading that happiness all around you.
I'm trying.
Now, we're going to take a little bit of a shift here. For the first-time listeners, this is going to be Krystal's worst paparazzi moment. This is the moment with her paparazzi business where she was like, oh, my gosh, could it get any worse from here? And Krystal had to make a choice whether to push forward or just quit. And we know from where she's at now that she definitely did not quit. So, Krystal, take us to that moment in time that was like your worst paparazzi moment.
I could probably think of 2, but the one, I was really, really excited. I love doing events. I love events. Live shows are awesome, but I love doing events to get to meet new people. And it was 4th of July. and it was actually an event I did with my sponsor. It was her dream to be able to do this 4-day event, but she didn't have the inventory to do it, so we kind of pitched in because it was really pricey at the time. I was, I think, a director at that time, so a couple $100 for an event was a lot. And we split it, and it was a 4-day event. We were projected to have, over 200,000 people at this event over the course of the 4 days, and we were all hyped up. We had spent so much money perfecting our displays. We bought tents. We did everything, the whole 9 yards, the biggest event I had ever done. And it rained all 4 days. It poured all 4 days. My sitter fell through, so I had my kids with me out in the rain, and it was terrible. I know that I probably didn't even make $150, $200 worth of sales. It was awful, awful, and I felt like, you know what, let's just pack up and go. There is no point even being here. Nobody's buying. They're just buying food and riding the rides in the rain. Like, there's no point being here. We did have, 2 or 3 people that came in and shopped, and one of them actually signed up underneath of me. So had I packed up and left, that lady, which she only bought one piece, it wasn't like she bought a ton of stuff and, oh, I'm going to join you. Didn't even mention joining. She bought one piece. She watched some of my live sales after that and then randomly called me, which this is weird too. I normally don't answer phone calls if it's a phone number I don't recognize. And I answered it, and she's like, hey, this is Michelle. I don't know if you remember meeting me, but I bought the one pearl necklace, and I had no clue at that point who it was. She's like, I bought a pearl necklace at your event back in July, and we were sopping wet in the rain. I'm like, oh, yeah. And she's like, I kind of want to meet up for lunch and talk about joining. And I was flabbergasted. It was a terrible event. My kids, they were stuck under a little bitty tent in the rain, so they weren't too happy. They were crabby and just messing with everything. And to have her do that, it was crazy to just, I could have packed up and left and just been like, you know what, throw in the towel, I'm done. And then that came out of it.
So, Krystal, what is the lesson you want us to learn from your worst paparazzi moment?
To not throw in the towel so easily. And I'm not talking just events here. I know that I have girls on that are below me that are in my downline, and, they'll have a bad live, or they'll have an event that bombs. They get so hyped up about this event, and then it bombs. And I've had a few of them throw in the towel and be done. Like, nope, I'm done with paparazzi. I'm not doing this anymore. Do you know how many times I could have given up? There's so many things that, I had almost my entire inventory stolen from me. I've had family members stop talking to me because I had an event and wasn't able to go to their kid's birthday party. Like, so many times I could have just, you know what, nope, I'm done. Cut it off, I'm done. Not giving up is a huge thing, which I think that may be one of your questions that is coming, but definitely don't throw in the towel so easily. Give it more than 1 to 3 tries,
I just want to highlight what you just said there. More than 1, 2, or even 3 tries. Just keep pushing forward until you find that success, because it's got to come, especially if you keep striking out. Like, that is just one step closer to that success, right?
Right.
Krystal, what is a habit you have that contributes to your success?
I used to be really bad about being consistent, and I always preach to my team, like, the more consistent you are, the more success you will have. I think those two really go hand in hand. And that means being consistently talking to your team, staying in contact with them. I've noticed a huge difference in my business once I was able to consistently start buying, because the more you buy, the more apt you are to sell. Because if you have boxes upon boxes of inventory, you're like, well, I got to make that money back. It kind of pushes you to, I have to go live 3 or 4 times a week to sell this stuff. I have to get the product moving. And definitely consistently meeting with your team. And not necessarily if you can't, I've got people all over the country. You can't meet physically, but FaceTiming or doing a phone call like this, or an audio training or Facebook Live training. But consistency is definitely a big, big thing for me. Even if you can't do a 2-hour live, doing flash sales. I don't know how many of y'all actually know me, but, I've done flash sales in the car. On our way to EMP in Springfield, I did a flash sale, made a couple $100 in the car, showing earrings, We were on vacation. I went live from the beach, did a flash sale there. 15, 20, 30-minute live can bring you in a bunch of money, and that can be your consistency. If you work a full-time job and you're not able to do lives every night, on your lunch break, do a 10-minute live even. I feel like there's never a wasted opportunity. Like, some people will do lives and, oh, no one's on here right now. It doesn't matter, because there's a replay. People are going to watch that replay, and you can get sales that way. And it's always planting those little paparazzi seeds, and they always grow. They don't sit there fruitless.
Absolutely. I'm going to highlight a couple things that you just said that really stuck out to me, that you're planting those paparazzi seeds because you never know who is watching you. And that could be a current team member who's considering quitting or considering taking it to the next level, or it could be somebody like that girl at your event who is just kind of watching you and waiting for that success and has never even said one word to you about paparazzi, but she's watching. And you never know who that is. And then that life is never a wasted opportunity, that people that are looking for those paparazzi successes that are watching you, they're going to watch you going live, or your team is going to watch you going live. So even if you're not out there selling 1 million pieces alive, your team is seeing that you're going live and that you're leading from the front, and then they're going to go live. And maybe they're the person that's going to sell $1 million in a live. I think both of those things are just value bombs. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Now, Krystal, what advice would you give to a brand new paparazzi consultant just getting started in their business?
I touched on this earlier, and you did too, about the never giving up. I have that quote all over my house because it's so easy to find the negative, or, oh, I didn't get any sales, or, oh, I gave that shop owner my business card and never heard back from her, or I did an event and it was terrible. One, it shows your team, it shows your family, it shows your kids that persistence pays off. I always say that things happen in God's time. So it may not happen right away. You may want that $500 sale right now. Maybe that's not God's plan for you. Maybe, a day or two, a week or two, a month or two, a year or two, you'll get that big sale that you're looking for. But yeah, never giving up. That's definitely something that I kept with me from when I started.
A gem that I just pulled out of there is negative is easy. It's so easy to give up. It's so easy to be negative. Being positive and working and pushing past is the hard part, and that is why so few people find the success that they want and so few people hit the top of paparazzi. I mean, they say that the elite are the 1% of paparazzi, and it's so true because those are the people that hit those bumps and they hit those hard times, and then they pick themselves up, dust themselves off, and keep going. And that's how you've gotten where you were. So I love that advice for a new consultant. So now if you could suggest one thing to a consultant who's feeling like stuck in their business, what would you tell them to do?
I tell my girls to get out of your comfort zone. If you go live every Friday night and that's the only day that works, that's all you can do something a little different, maybe a themed live or something like that. Doing something a little bit different. It's easy for us to get into our groove and just keep plugging away. Nothing good happens in your comfort zone. It's when you get a little uncomfortable, a little like, oh, God, should I do this? That the magic happens. You don't want to do the easy way.
I think that is perfect. You said do different. I like that because if you're doing the same old, you're going to get the same results. Same actions equals same results. And if you want something different, you have to do something different. So I'm actually going to put that on my wall. Do different. Krystal, what is a quote that inspires you?
Nothing is impossible because the word itself says I'm possible. A lot of times we kind of look for validation. You have to be happy with you. You have to believe that you can make everything possible because we can. I think I said this anyways at the beginning. We're all given the same opportunity on a silver platter. We're all given the same box of jewelry, the same platforms, everything. It's just what are you going to do to become successful?
There's a story that stands out to me that I heard the other day, and it was, I believe it's the 4-minute mile. Everybody for years said it was impossible, that it would never be achieved. It could never happen because nobody had ever gotten close to it. And it took one person believing that they could do it, practicing and striving and achieving, and then he crushed that record. And then all of these other people started coming out once he had achieved that, and they started hitting that 4-minute mile too. So even if somebody says something is impossible, it's not impossible. It just means it hasn't been done yet. It just means it hasn't happened yet. It doesn't mean that it could never happen.
And it's so fun when someone tells you that, oh, yeah, good luck with that, or, oh, you're never going to do that. Be like, bam, look what I did. Like, so many people looked at me kind of crazy when I said, yeah, I'm quitting my job. And look at where we're at now. You can do everything. You've got power within you. You've just got to pick it up and run with it.
That's perfect. Now, Krystal, what is a book you would say is a must-read and why?
It's called Hi, God, and it's by Pastor Nicole Crank. This one is literally like you and I are sitting here, girlfriend to girlfriend, talking. but she's having conversations with God. Like, there's a part in it that talks about, it's kind of funny how we always pray to God that we get this new promotion, or we pray to God that we get this. But have we ever sat here and thanked God for what we have, what he's given us, what the power that he's put within us to, go do what we do every day? And it's just really kind of humbled me and kind of made me think about things I wouldn't necessarily think about. It kind of goes towards all faiths. It doesn't use so much biblical stuff, if that makes sense.
It sounds like something I'm going to have to add to my reading list, because I love a good new book, so I'm going to have to add that on.
That's awesome.
Okay, Krystal, last question, but it might be the most difficult one. Here on the podcast, we like to do a weekly call challenge. So what is one thing you would challenge the listeners to do in the next 7 days to take action in their paparazzi business?
So I thought long and hard about this, and I kept writing things down, and I scratched it out. Something that I had a lot of fun with, and my team had a lot of fun, and it actually really helped their sales, was, again, to go out of your comfort zone a little bit. We all put our makeup on and go and sit and do our live sales. But to do a themed night, not necessarily you have to do it every week or anything. I normally do one a month, but a theme. And it could be, one of the girls, she did a luau night. She had, luau music, and then she had to turn it off and do her live, and then she kind of did some more stuff with it. I'm a nerd, and I love Harry Potter. So I got out every piece of Harry Potter stuff I had. I put up a Harry Potter backdrop. I had, my head wig sitting next to me. And I showed jewelry. I called it the magical line. And then there was, a golden snitch line where everything was gold. And it was really silly and ridiculous. And you're probably thinking, Krystal, what the heck are you talking about right now? But it was really, really fun. And it was the most viewers I had ever had. And we did little Harry Potter trivia in between, and we gave postage for words away and stuff. And it was just really fun, something different, because we're all friends on Facebook. We see 1 million lives a night at 8 o'clock. You're scrolling, and it's live after live after live, cute shirt. Oh, I really love that necklace on you. Oh, look at that lip color. You don't see people dressed up like a clown going live. Or you don't see, one girl, she dressed up as an M&M. She put an M&M costume on and had M&M. I think she collects M&M stuff. And M&Ms as in the candy, not the wrapper. And she had all this stuff out, and she was doing Hershey's and M&M kind of trivia and whatnot. And it was just something fun. So do something that's a little out of your comfort zone. What I liked about it was not only the fact that, hey, it's something out of your comfort zone, something a little different, but it gives your customers a view into your life, something you like. We all obviously love paparazzi, right, because we're selling it. But what's something else that you love? One person dressed up as a mechanic because, you don't see very many female mechanics, and she did car trivia and stuff during her live. So I challenge you to do that. It's fun, and it's fun for your customers too.
Hashtag challenge accepted. Let's do this. A themed night or just something to get outside of your comfort zone. But that sounds like so much fun. Well, Krystal, I sure appreciate you coming on the podcast today. I have learned so much from you. I have pages of notes, and I'm sure the listeners feel the same. So thank you so much.
Thank you. I really appreciate the opportunity. I was absolutely honored, and I cannot believe you asked me to do this.
You are so welcome. For the listeners, thank you so much again for tuning into today's show. Don't forget to head on over to paparockstars.com/KrystalG to keep the party going. Thanks, everybody, and have a rockin' week. Bye-bye.